my Chunkman account. It's not following traditional Chunkman rules, but I made a spreadsheet with a bunch of tasks so we can unlock chunks in order to unlock all the landmass chunks of Gielinor. Last episode that culminated in a massive 11 new chunks, mostly because of Brutus, the new cow boss that was released in the game. The chunks we unlocked were mostly islands, but we did get the mid-guild chunk, and we got a bit closer to unlocking sailing by unlocking another chunk in the Isle of Souls. We've been doing a lot of bossing in the last couple of episodes, and because of that we're actually quite nicely leveled. If we look at the skills tab, we are now total level 1970, so we are 5 levels off another total level chunk. We still have a bunch of levels that are near the next level, so what I want to do is just get the last 5 levels over here, get a chunk that way, see which one it is, and then decide if we need to do something new or if we can just go and complete something else. But for now, let's start with 5 levels. I'm not really sure which ones I'm going to do just yet, but you'll see the clips in just a second. 89 fishing. 84 farming, 88 fletching, 96 wood cutting, and then last but definitely not least, we go out with a banger. That is going to be 99 cooking. All of the fish we fished was perfect to get to 99, our third 99 of the account after ranged and hit points. We are also in the perfect position now, as the cooking guild is pretty much the home where we need to buy the cooking cape, and this cooking cape is actually very useful because the title of Master Chef that comes with this cooking cape just make sure that we are not going to burn any more food, which is going to be amazing for this account. Just not burning things is really amazing, as you can still burn sharks and stuff after you reach 99, but with this cape, that isn't going to happen anymore. We also don't need the chef's head anymore because this cooking cape also counts as an item to get into the cooking's guild. So I'd say it's definitely useful to get to 99 cooking. But that also brought us up to 1975 total level. And that is a task complete. Let's go and complete it on our dashboard. And then let's see which chunk we are going to get. Another total level task, 1975 total has been completed. That was our 79th total level task for our 445th chunk. And then back to the map for our chunk. Last chunk we unlocked was this one over here at the Isle of Souls. It brought us a bit closer to the shipyard, which is pretty much one of the chunks I really want to get, as that would unlock sailing. So I'm pretty much hoping to get closer to here or to unlock one of the last remaining chunks on the mainland. But it is very likely we'll get a chunk from the ocean. So let's see what we are going to get. Let's pick a chunk. Oh, yeah, okay. I guess that's a port now. Like, this wasn't there before the sailing update, but okay, that's the very top part of Wise now unlocked. Yeah, we cannot really do much here. Even if we had sailing unlocked, this is like in the 70s or 80s to even dock here. So yeah, for our next chunk, I already know what I am going to do. And it has something to do with what we were doing. We did some fishing and we did some wood cutting and actually got some really nice things that were useful, and it actually grew our stack of hard caskets. We had something like 20 or 21, now we have 24, and we actually have a hard clue left that we can do. So I am going to see if we can finish this one all by itself. With our map, there's a decent chance we can actually do that, and otherwise we'll have to go and get one from somewhere else, probably from Hellhounds. And then we will have another 25 caskets to open. Fifth step, this could be it. Oh, yes it is. Nice. We did not have to hunt for our last casket. Now, if we go and look at our collection log for hard clues, we currently have 50 completed. 25 more means we will get to 75, and that's the next task, as every task is every 25 clues completed until we get the milestone reward. In those 50 hard clues, we have gotten 20 of the uniques here. Most notably, we've already gotten a Zamorak full helm for the master clue step. I believe there should be some kind of plate body. Is it the Bandos plate body, which is also a master clue item? So that would be nice to get. We already have one of the rune heraldic shields. I would love to get one more because you actually need two, because there are two steps. So we can fill both of the stash units. And then I would love to also get one rune helm heraldic, because those are steps that we still have to drop if we get one of those, because we do not have one of these helms. Otherwise, for the god D'hide, we have gotten an ancient coif, we have gotten a Saradomin D'hide body, we have gotten Bandos chaps, we have gotten ancient bracers, and we have gotten 2 pairs of boots. So we pretty much are kitted out. A bit of a mismatch though, but that's not really that important. If we would get one of the shields though, that would be really nice, because that's a better dragonhide shield than we currently have. But these are extremely rare, so I'm not really betting on getting one of those. And I think for the rest we have gotten everything we would need for clues or otherwise. Maybe just the black dragon mask for the elite clue step. So those are the items we are pretty much looking forward to. Let's see if we can actually get one, but first of all, I have a master clue to get to follow the bard, and it has been so long since we've opened some caskets that, well, since then we've completed the Fremennik trial, so we can actually talk to Fellow now to see what kind of item he needs. But let's drop the master clue because we want to get some more from these caskets. Because if we would manage to complete a master clue, we would also be able to get a chunk that way. It is at 1 in 15 from hard clues, so let's just hope we can actually get 2 that we can do, and then we can maybe get the 1 master clue completed. But let's have a look. Let's open the first casket. Oh, first new unique. Saradomin full helm? Oh, whoa. That's 2 of them. Amulet of Glory would have been nice if we didn't have that already in the normal form. And a thieving bag, alright. Into the magic combo. That's now 3 in a row that we get some new items. That's actually pretty good. Into, wow, 2 more. Jesus. Gotex Stole and Armadillo plate legs. I'm not really sure why you are getting so much uniques, but I don't mind. Hey! Not only the Gotex plate legs, but also another scroll box master. Let's have a look if we can actually do this one. Sherlock. So that's also a maybe. But let's add it to our other master clue. We'll try that one after we are done. Oh, first dupe. Navy Cavalier. Ooh, that's... Oh, yes! A Rune Heraldic Helm! Yes, that's actually perfect. I was thinking the Gotex Plate body and the Saradomin D'hide body were the uniques, but it's actually a Rune Heraldic Helm. Nice! We can now finally do the hard clue step that requires one of these. Oh, that's actually so amazing. That's one of the items we really wanted. Oh, holy shit. 3 uniques. Armadillo Plate Skirt, a Rune Full Helm Trimmed, and Zamorak Chaps. These clues are quite well endowed on the uniques here. Jesus. And we got another body. Armadillo Dragonhide body. And into the Bandos chaps, but oh, we already had those. And the last casket for another unique Gotex Plate Skirt. Not a bad haul at all. For 25 hard clues, we've gotten a massive amount of items. Look at that. We are now at 462 collections logged, 14 new uniques obtained. But most notably, I'm very happy with this Rune Heraldic Helm. That will be very useful in the future, as we still have tasks left until 300 heart clues. So that's definitely going to be useful in not having to drop all of those steps. But that's 75 heart clues completed. That's 8 tasks completed. So let's complete it on our dashboard and then let's see the next chunk. That was a very fast task completion, but we've been working towards it for quite a while. But that's 75 heart clues completed. That will bring us up to 68 clue tasks completed for 446 chunks now. And then back to the map we go. I noticed that actually this part was part of the mainland, so I guess we got what we asked for, but yeah, I'd rather have one of the more important chunks over here. But let's have a look what our next chunk is going to be. Let's pick a chunk. Okay, that's a bit of ocean, but that's a full water chunk. We're not interested in water chunks, we are only interested in landmass chunks. So let's try that again. Let's pick a chunk. Ooh, that's actually not a bad one. That is another part of the Great Conch. The more of the island we unlock here, the better, because there's a quest here, so we definitely need this chunk, of course, to be able to do that. And in general, this island is just going to be very useful. So I'm glad we unlocked another part and that now 2 more parts are unlockable. We first of all need the shipyard chunk though to start sailing. So yeah, not a bad chunk, but it doesn't really help us in the short term. Before we do anything else, let's go and check if one of these 2 masters can give us a cost cut. So let's first of all take the one with Fallow and actually see if we can do the step now. Come on, Fallow, you finally are able to talk to us. You are not an outsider anymore. Let's have a look at what object he wants. A dragon or a Vernic Defender. Okay, I saw a Vernic Defender and I was like, oh no, that's not possible. But we do have a Dragon Defender, so that's definitely this step we can do. But before we actually go and give him the item, I want to see if we can also do the Sherlock step. Because if we cannot do the Sherlock step, then it's pretty much useless that we try to complete this one with just 1 master clue. Come on, Sherlock, be nice. What is the challenge? Complete a lap of Relicus rooftop agility course. Oh boy. That's actually possible, but we're 5 levels off that before we can actually boost to do that. It seems like we are going to go for a detour and get 5 agility levels, which is probably not going to be all that fun. But we have to try. We cannot bank the boat master clue, so yeah. We will have to do 5 levels of agility. I'm already going to try and get as far as possible on this master clue before we get the agility levels. Because if we are able to drop this one and pick up the other one, we can then store that in the bank and we won't have to juggle the master clue. So I'm going to try to get as far as possible on this one. So that starts with giving the Dragon Defender to Fallow. Let's hope we get a good next master step. Ooh, Jorl, that can be anything. But we also need the strange device for that. But luckily for us, because we have completed the Fremnik trials, we have also completed the part where Jorl will give us a strange device now, because we did making history. So, coming in clutch. Well, that clue was short-lived. There's 5 possibilities on Varlamore and 23 on Zea, so yeah, this is going to be a drop. But we have 1 completed step. If we can get like 5 more from the other, we can actually complete this master clue, but yeah. Not the greatest start. So let's drop this one, let's go pick up the other one, and let's get 5 agility levels. 81, 82, 83, 84. And then after about 1000 and a couple hundred laps of the Fremnik rooftop agility arena in about 30 hours, that is going to be 85 agility. I'm quite happy we're done here because, yeah, agility is just not fun. And now with some summer pies we still had in the bank, we can nicely get up here in Ardoin, run a little lap. Well, fall immediately, okay. And if we complete this lap here, we won't only have completed the step of the master clue we were looking for, we will also have done the elite task in the RD area. So either way, even if this master clue doesn't pan out, we will still have gotten this one. And this is actually one of the couple of elite tasks we still had to train our skills for. So maybe in the near future we can go for the elite diary here. But for now, let's have a look if we can actually get another step on our, well, 2 steps we've completed just now. Be humble, Sherlock! Wait. Oh! What? How did I read this so wrong? Complete a lap of Relica's rooftop agility. What the fuck? Why did I train 5 levels of agility? Okay. Wait. Still the same step, right? Oh my god, did I really just train 5 levels of agility just to notice that I didn't have to do it? That's 30 hours of agility that I could have spared myself. Oh my god. Well, at least we still have the lead task done in the RD area, but oh my god, this is so stupid. Well, one more lap with the master clue, and we've completed the step. What's one more lap, right? And the next step is also doable. Mandrit in the wilderness resource area, so that's a good one. Next step is follow the bard again. This could be a bad one, but this could also be a good one. Oh, Mark of Grace. Perfect. Alright, that's now 4 steps completed. If we get 2 more, we have a chance of a casket because it's between 6 and 8. So let's hope we can get a little lucky. Ooh. Oh, that's actually... Oh no. The onion patch in Privdinus allotments. That's the one step we cannot do. We can do the Bloodspawn and the Demonic Ruins. We have the entire wilderness. We do have the Legends quest completed as well, but we do not have Privdinus. If we would unlock these 2 chunks over here, we could finish the quest to unlock Privdinus. So in that regard, I might actually keep hold of this master clue. Just because we already have the 4 steps, this would mean the 5th. And it actually is pretty close. So I am going to keep this one. For now, we're going to have to do something else to get another chunk, but an interesting start of a master clue. I'm still a bit shocked that we had to do the 5 agility levels for pretty much nothing. So when I was looking at what we could do, well, might as well not make those 5 levels be useless. We already did the elite task to get a lap on the RD rooftop, and if we look at the rest of the RD diary, there's still a couple of things that we are missing. For example, we need 82 and 80 thieving. We do have 77, so we could boost to do this. So actually that's a requirement checked off. Then we have 91 smithing that we need. That's 3 levels of being able to boost for this one as well. Then for farming, we need 85, which is also perfectly possible with a boost. We only need 1 level. And then for the Ice Barrage within Castle Wars 94 magic, we currently have 91, but we do have the Imbued Heart, which gives us like 100 if we use it. So in that regard, we're pretty much only missing 1 skill that we cannot boost yet, and that is smithing. So what I'm pretty much going to do is I'm gonna be here at the blast furnace, do some smithing levels, and we actually have 12,000 gold ore. I think that should be enough to get 3 levels. If it's not, we still have a lot of adamantite ore together with coal that we can then do. So yeah, let's smith a bit. A d4, a d5. And then because I did not have enough ores left, we used some of the bars we made to make some more Giant's Foundry swords. And if we hand this sword in, that is going to be 86 smithing. Now we're all set to boost. Not for these parts, but if we go for Runite here, Runite limbs is 91, so that's now perfectly doable. Now before I actually go away here, we currently have 3 pieces of the Smith's tunic, and we have enough points to buy the last piece, so let's buy the Smith's trousers as well for another collection log slot. But let's get cracking to the RD diary now. Let's hope it doesn't take all that long to do all of the boosting. Oh, yes. That's the thieving boost after a couple of tries. Come on, let's picklock this door before we lose the boost. Yes, there we go. Elite task in the RD area. And now we also need 80. Oh, we actually lost the boost already. Damn. Now we need to find a hero. Here we go. Hero. Pickpocket hero. And that is another elite task completed in the RD area. That's the 2 thieving ones done. Oh, yes. There we go. That's the boost for smithing for runite limbs. Now I should not fuck up the rest, otherwise we have to do this again. So we need to make a crossbow stock as well from a U. We can already put that together as well. Now with the U roots in Witch Haven, we can make those into crossbow string. Yes, and if we then put it all together, that is the elite task to make a rune crossbow within Witch Haven or Yenel completed. We apparently never did this, but if we go to Nightmare Zone, if we go to benefits, oh yeah, we still have enough points. I was otherwise going to uncharge my Berserker ring, but we can imbue our Salve Amulet here for another elite task completed. Step number 1 completed, as we got a raw manta ray from the fishing trawler. Now the only thing we need to do is also cook it, and it cannot burn because we have the cooking cape, which is quite nice. So that's another elite task completed. Then let's use the imbued heart, and let's see if you can mesmerize someone. Well, someone from their team preferably. And there we go, that's an elite task in the Artoin area completed. And then the last task we need to do is to pick some Torstol. I'm not really sure if we actually need the level or not to be able to pick this, but let's see. We need a spade, of course. Oh, you can actually pick it when you don't have the level, but you need to boost when you plant it. That's interesting, actually. But that was the last task. Let's leave the herbs for what they are and let's go and get our reward. As a reward for completing the diary, we get the Ardoin Cloak 4 plus an XP lamp, together with some improved perks like 250 pure essence every day that we can get from Wizard Property, which is not all that useful. We will get 50% more fish from the fishing trawler and get 25% more marks of grace on the RD agility course. We can now also teleport to the farm infinitely instead of only 3 times a day, which is going to be really good for our farm runs. Bird will also automatically give us sand, which will be amazing if that sand will just pile up every day. So it will be amazing for our crafting journey in the future. And then we can hold up to 140 count pouches whilst pickpocketing instead of like, what was it, 76 something? But most notably, it's of course the teleport here, the sand from Bird, and this lamp, which we are going to put onto Herblore as usual. That's also a very big boost, 50,000 experience, still 124,000 XP to go though, but all bits help in getting that level up. But that's now the first one that is fully green. The Ardoin diary is fully completed. Let's go back to the dashboard to complete it over there, and then let's see which chunk we are going to get because of this. Another diary completed. The Ardoin Elite. That was our 21st diary for our 447th landmass chunk. And then back to the map we go. I would really love if we could unlock one of these two chunks over here, so we can complete the quest that we can get into Privdinus, so we can complete our master clue, or try to anyway. That would be the best thing we could get right about now, but let's see what we are actually going to get. Let's pick a chunk. Ooh. Oh wow. That is the Tide Farm unlocked. It would be nice to have Auto Weed unlocked, and we still need a couple of farming levels anyway to get some other diaries done. So I might actually try to see if we can actually use the minigame teleport to here. I'm not really sure if we can actually do that, if we need to have visited it first before we can actually go there. But that is our second chunk into Korend. If we get like, what is this? The one above here, we get the fairy ring. So that would be another option to get here to the Tide Farm. This is, I think, one of the mining things, and I think we can only use them as soon as we've done more quests here in Korend. And here we have the house portal next to it as well, so we could just change our house to be in Korend and then get to the Tide Farm that way. So yeah, interesting ways to get over here into the new continent. I'm actually curious right about now if we can actually get there. So let's try to use the minigame teleport to... Oh, okay. It actually says it here, which is quite nice, this new interface. We need to enter the Farmer Agricole's farm before we can actually teleport there. So, okay, we won't be able to get there. We currently have like 4 more quests we can do, and I've been putting it off for quite a while. Might as well do them right now, or a couple of them anyway. They should be pretty easy chunks as well, so might as well get them out of the way. And that's why we are going to start with Troll Romance. Let's talk to Ugg, who seems to be crying. It seems like Ugg is crying because he is in love with Aga, another troll, but she is together with Arg. After talking to Aga, it seems like her relationship with Arg isn't all that great, and Arg promised her a flower from Trollwise Mountain, but he hasn't given it to her, so she is kind of doubting that he loves her. It seems like a very good idea if we can find that flower, that we give it to Ugg, and then he can profess his love to Aga that way. Tenzing knows where the flowers grow, but it's fairly inaccessible, and he says we will need a sled after going through the Ice Mountain Trolls. So let's go to Dunstan and get ourselves a sled. One nice sled ride later, and we have found the rare flowers, the Trollwise flowers. This immediately also unlocks an elite clue step, so we'll have the sled ready to get over here. As you can see, there is a stash unit here, so that's great that we have unlocked this. But now back to the quest. After giving Ugg the flowers, he's too afraid to get past Arg to give them to Aga, so yeah, let's take care of him instead. With this little nice stay spot, that is Arg no more. And finally, Ugg got the courage to go to Aga with the flowers, and we have completed the Troll Romance quest. We have gotten 2 quest points for that, 8,000 agility experience, 4,000 strength experience, and 7 uncut gems. So an uncut diamond, 2 rubies, and 4 emeralds. We still have another quest that is actually a follow-up on this quest, and apparently this was the last requirement before we could do Desert Treasure 2, which is kind of interesting. Oh no, it's Arav's. Yeah, this is the next quest. The next quest is going to be the last quest in the Arav storyline. Well, the last one that is released anyway. But before we go there, let's go and complete it on our dashboard. And then let's see which chunk we are going to get. And then we're going to do this quest. Another quest down. Troll Romance has been completed. That was quest number 144 and our 448 chunk. And then back to the map. With the addition of the Tide Farm now unlocked, there are a couple of chunks here that are going to be useful. So let's have a see if we can unlock one of those or if we get another island. Let's pick a chunk. Oh, we get an island, but it's actually a good one. That is another piece of the Great Conch, the middle part. And I believe this cave here you get to the Shellbane Griffin. So that's a boss unlocked, well, after we can get to the island and when we unlock sailing, of course. There's also a fairy ring here, which is the useful way to get here. And I think if we unlock like these 2 more chunks, we can actually complete the quest if we get to sailing. So that's a pretty good chunk, although we cannot really do anything with it for the moment. After we received the message from Elias that he has some progress in helping Arav, as Arav is still under the control of Zemuragal the Majorat, and the heart of Arav was taken from his body, and in some way Zemuragal is using that heart to control Arav. What Elias has found is a mastaba, some kind of crypt, that was used for a pharaoh that has saved a lot of the lives of necromantic magic. So we are looking for something that can house the heart of Arav when we retrieve it, because it needs to keep beating, otherwise Arav will die. So let's get into the tomb here and let's see what we can find. In the mastaba we found a canopic jar, and in some inscriptions we actually found how to fill it. So we now have a way to store Arav's heart. Now the only thing is that we still need to find the heart, of course, so let's see if Elias has found something more. With some more information from Elias, he has found that Zemuragal has gotten into a fortress up north at Trollwise, and that's why we needed the quest we just did, so we can actually get on top of Trollwise Mountain. In the tunnels we find some tablets, and it seems to talk about that these tunnels are to get as close to the ritual stone. Which ritual isn't really clear, but he wants to get as close, well, I assume it's about Zemuragal, that is trying to get as close to the ritual stone as he wants, without alerting the other, so I assume that are the other Majorat. There's something here that talks about a next battle, which is still a bit unclear, but then it seems like the person that was digging these tunnels struck into the basement, and then if we can go upstairs here, we might see, yeah, there's Arav. So I'm not really sure if these tablets were written by Zemuragal, because this is Zemuragal's castle, or if it was some other Majorat that was trying to break in here. Before being called on by Zemuragal, Arav told us that his heart isn't actually in this fortress, but there is some information in this room on this tapestry that might help us. Behind this tapestry we found some base plans for Zemuragal's base in Silverea. Not really sure where that is. And we also found the key to get in there. Elias was reading the plans, and it seems like the heart is in Silverea, which is the part between Varrock and the Mauritania land. So the base that's near the wilderness, which we found last quest. And although the heart is in that base, it is really difficult to get it, as there are a massive amount of security protections. Although it seems near impossible to get through all of these detection spells and such, we're gonna try anyway by taking a bit of a detour through the kitchen. We made it to the heart, quite unscathed. Everything is going well, so let's try to get the heart into the canopic jar so we can free Arav. But it seems like Zemuragal figured out what we are doing. And it seems like Arav is now forced to kill us. And after a bit of a fight, we have won the fight against Arav. And when Sharat Tirk wanted to kill us and teleport us away, Elias suddenly spawned. He seems to have some binding magic, so we can take the heart in the meantime, and then he teleports us away. So it seems like he's not just any explorer. There's something more going on with Elias White. Elias doesn't want to divulge why he has those kinds of powers and why Zimurgle knew him, but as we have the heart now, we can look for a way to free Rav. But for now, that is the end of the quest. We have completed the Curse of Rav. We get 2 quest points, access to Zimurgle's fortress, but I don't really know why we would actually go back there. Well, except for the helmet in the tunnels, but I don't think that's that important of a helmet. And then we get 40,000 mining, thieving, and agility experience, which is actually quite nice. Quite an interesting turn of events, but sadly this is the last quest that they have released in the Rav storyline. So I'm hoping in the near future we can get some kind of conclusion of what happens with Rav, that we can free him and such. But for now, that's just the quest completed, and the quest completed is a task completed. And with the task completed, we get another chunk, so let's just do that. Another quest down! The Curse of Rav! And that was our 145th quest for our 449th chunk. And then back to the map we go for our chunk roll. Let's see what we are going to get. Let's pick a chunk. Ooh. We get Nate's Knot, which is good for a couple of things. There's 2 elite steps, I believe, or 3 elite steps over here. But I think most notably, if we unlock 1 more, we can do the quest over here with Yatizo and Nate's Knot. So we're actually pretty close to getting a nice helmet upgrade as well with the Helm of Nate's Knot. I'd say this is a really good chunk to unlock. 1 more and we have something really interesting to do. And with Nate's Knot now unlocked, that's going to be the end of the episode. We've unlocked quite a few interesting chunks that set us up for some really good things in the future. So let's continue with the chunk unlocking, and surely soon we'll have something new to do. But that's all from me today. So have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one.